Rachel. When Jackson was a little less than a year old and my first book deadline was looming, I realized my life, such as it was not working. I never seemed to meet all the expectations others had for me or that I had set for myself. No matter how hard I tried to prioritize my days, something or someone was forever being left out. And no matter how carefully I planned, there just wasn't time for all I needed or wanted to do. The result? Guilt. Constant guilt. A planner by nature, I decided to orchestrate an instant, all-encompassing makeover of my life. So on a Sunday afternoon, I opened up Excel on my computer and made spreadsheets and chore charts and printed off a calendar for the week with every day's agenda. The plans and goals included, but were not limited to, making time for prayer, planning and cooking healthy meals, exercising daily, getting the house cleaned and organized and keeping it that way, spending time with my husband and baby, and pursuing my writing. I posted all of the lists right on the refrigerator door so I could be reminded of my goals all day long at a glance. It felt so good to stand back and look at my charts. Ambition taking over good sense, I added the following to the list. Cut back on caffeine. Skip morning coffee and take a brisk morning walk every day instead. Now that I'd planned my work, I couldn't wait for morning to come and start working my plan. I was floating on a high of imagining my new, improved, healthy, happy, organized life. After church Sunday evening, I got the first hint that things might not go quite as well as I had hoped. Jackson seemed fussy, so I grabbed the thermometer. Sure enough, he had a fever. I was up most of the night trying to help him get comfortable, praying for sleep that didn't come. By Monday morning, just when I thought I might have him settled down to sleep, the doorbell rang. At 7:30 a.m., nobody who knows me and likes me would ring the doorbell that early. The loud chime throughout the house had me and my baby wide awake again. We might as well get up and see who would dare wake a young mom and her baby, I thought. Hurrying out of my PJs and into a t-shirt and sweats, throwing my wild morning curls into a bun, I wearily wandered to the front door with Jackson on my hip, still in his footy pajamas. On the way there, I cast a longing glance at the coffee maker, my anti-caffeine resolve already weakening in my sleep-deprived state. Standing at the door was a girl in her young 20s, who looked as though her morning routine might have resembled mine, except she'd thrown on some wrinkled black scrubs instead of sweats. At first I thought she might have intentionally gelled her tresses into one of those cool, messy hair hipster do's, but upon closer examination, no. It appeared she'd woken up, probably running late, and decided to skip the hassle of a hairbrush altogether. She pushed away some stiff strands of bedhead. "I'm here to give you your physical for the life insurance policy." "Hi, yes, well," I stammered. "My husband mentioned this would happen, but we called the insurance company and rescheduled the appointment for next week, later in the day, when I might actually be awake and aware." This girl didn't get the memo. She just stood there like a lost puppy, mumbling. "They told me to come here, though. I don't know where else to go." Her eyes were big, round, tired, and possibly hungover. I couldn't just close the door and turn her away. Shrugging my shoulders and waving her in, I apologized for the messy house and headed straight for the coffee maker, offering to make her a cup. I made it strong, with enough for a large mug for me, too, as it was clear we were both going to need more than a brisk walk to make it through this day. I'd decaffeinate tomorrow. The young woman sat down at my kitchen table and pulled out a survey from her bag as I bounced Jackson on my knee. In a mumbled monotone, eyes darting everywhere but in my direction, she asked no less than 100 questions regarding the diseases I may or may not have contracted and the activities I may or may not have participated in to contract said diseases. After the parade of questions, she handed me a small cup and asked me to give her a urine sample. Thankfully, she did let me excuse myself to perform this function in the restroom. Otherwise, the awkwardness level would have risen off the charts. Getting the liquid gold into the cup proved to be no easy task while holding a clingy, sick baby who cried every time I sat him down, but we managed. Then the fun part, the blood draw. She looked more frightened by the needles than I did. It took her 2 shaky attempts, and she left my arm black and blue and sore for almost a week.